Sam Abdulrahim, infamously known as the Punisher, has become a symbol of Melbourne's ruthless underworld, a place where betrayal and violence reign supreme. At just 32, he holds the unenviable title of being the most hunted man in the city's violent and deeply entrenched criminal world. His life is a roller coaster of violence, crime and survival, marked by numerous assassination attempts, prison stints and legal entanglements. From his early years as a member of a motorcycle gang to becoming a professional boxer, Abdulrahim's story is one of constant peril. The $1 million bounty on his head, placed by his enemies, adds another layer of tension to an already precarious existence, making his life a high-stakes game of survival. This video explores the rise and dangerous existence of Sam the Punisher, a man constantly at odds with fate and his many adversaries. Sam was born and raised in Melbourne's northern suburbs, an area heavily influenced by Middle Eastern crime families and bikie gangs. From a young age, he was exposed to the harsh realities of the criminal world. His community was a breeding ground for gang affiliations, and it was not long before Sam found himself entrenched in this environment. Unlike many others, however, he was not merely a peripheral player. Sam sought power and influence, and his quick temper and love for fast cars and dangerous living made him a standout among his peers. His path into crime began with petty thefts and drug-related activities, but by the time he hit his 20s, he had already established connections with Melbourne's most dangerous bikie gangs and Middle Eastern crime syndicates. His entry into the Melbourne underworld was marked by a series of violent altercations, the most publicised of which was a bloody courthouse brawl in 2015. In a highly publicised incident outside the Melbourne Magistrates Court, Sam and rival kickboxer Omar Bichinati came to blows. The fight was a brutal showcase of the rising tensions between Melbourne's Middle Eastern gangs and their associates. Police were forced to intervene, and the media was quick to broadcast images of a shirtless Sam being led away in handcuffs. The incident cemented Sam's place as a known figure in Melbourne's criminal underworld, drawing both attention from law enforcement and admiration from fellow criminals. The courthouse brawl wasn't an isolated incident, it was just one of many violent episodes in Sam's life during this period. He had developed a reputation for his quick temper and willingness to engage in confrontations, qualities that both helped him gain respect in the underworld and made him a target. While Sam's early criminal career involved violent brawls and petty crime, it was a 2015 car crash that dramatically shifted public perception of him and catapulted him into a different level of notoriety. In the early hours of October the 25th, 2015, Sam was driving his Ferrari 360 Spider at high speed through the Melbourne suburb of Reservoir. He lost control of the vehicle and crashed head-on into another car, killing 88-year-old great-grandmother Muriel Hewlett and injuring 10 others. The incident was shocking not just for the lives impacted, but also for the moral questions it raised about Sam's character and disregard for human life. In the aftermath of the crash, Sam's behaviour was nothing short of appalling. Eyewitness accounts detailed his indifference to the suffering he had caused, with reports indicating that he showed little to no remorse for Hewlett's death. This incident quickly became a media sensation, further painting Sam as a villain in the eyes of the public. Legal repercussions were inevitable, and Sam faced serious charges, including culpable driving causing death. But this tragedy did little to slow down Sam's descent into Melbourne's criminal underworld. His actions continued to reflect a blatant disregard for the law. Out on bail, he racked up additional driving offences, continued to engage in drug-related activities, and eventually was arrested for possessing 138 grams of ice. The crash was indeed a decisive moment in his life, but rather than serving as a wake-up call, it acted as a catalyst that propelled him further into the depths of crime. Just quickly, if you're enjoying this video so far and want more stories from the Australian criminal underworld, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow. Sam's ascent in the criminal hierarchy did not come without its share of betrayals and feuds. Initially, he aligned himself with several bikie clubs, most notably the Bandidos and later the Mongols. These affiliations provided him with a sense of protection and a network of resources, but they also placed him at the centre of violent rivalries. His ties to Middle Eastern crime syndicates, particularly his relationship with Nabil Magni, were instrumental in his rise to power, but they also set the stage for conflict. Sam's connection with Magni, in particular, would become one of the most significant in his early career. Magni was a feared figure involved in a range of criminal enterprises, from drug trafficking to extortion. Initially, Magni provided Sam with protection and guidance, helping him navigate the treacherous world of organised crime. But as with many underworld relationships, the partnership between the two men was volatile, and it wasn't long before tensions flared. Their relationship came to a head in 2016 after a brawl at Crown Casino, during which Magni believed Sam had failed to back him up. This rift would have dire consequences, particularly following the murder of Kadir KD Oz in 2016. Oz, a close associate of the powerful Hamad family, was shot dead in an office works car park in Campbellfield, in what appeared to be a targeted execution. George Morogi, a rival criminal figure, was later convicted of the murder, but Sam's role in the incident has long been the subject of speculation. While Sam denied any involvement in the killing, court documents suggest otherwise. Abdulrahim had been present during the meeting that led to Or's death, and it was alleged that he had helped lure Or to the scene. During Morogi's trial, Sam testified, claiming he had nothing to do with the murder, but his denials were met with skepticism. The Court of Appeal later noted that Sam's involvement in the events leading up to Or's death could not be entirely dismissed. The murder of Kadir Ors marked a turning point for Sam, as it ignited a long-standing feud between him and the Hamad family. The Hamads, particularly Kazem Kaz Hamad and Ahmed al-Hamza, blamed Sam for the death of their associate and vowed to seek revenge. The violence that followed would haunt Sam for years as the Hamad family embarked on a relentless campaign of retaliation. After the murder of Kadir Ors, Sam's life became a battle for survival. Released from prison on parole in 2019 after serving time for his role in the fatal Ferrari crash, Sam immediately became the target of a wave of violent reprisals orchestrated by the Hamad family and other enemies. In the days following his release, Sam's family home was the target of a drive-by shooting, the first of many attacks that would follow. Over the next several months, his family members, associates and businesses were repeatedly targeted in shootings, firebombings and other violent acts. It became clear that Sam's enemies, particularly Kazem Hamad and Ahmed al-Hamza, were determined to eliminate him. The escalating violence forced Sam to live in constant fear. He moved from hotel to hotel, trying to stay one step ahead of his would-be assassins. However, despite his efforts to lay low, the attacks continued. His panel-beating business was shot up multiple times, and his family's properties were targeted in a series of firebombings. The relentless attacks painted a clear picture. Sam's enemies would stop at nothing to see him dead. In an attempt to find some semblance of safety, Sam went back to prison after his parole was revoked. But even behind bars, he was not immune from danger. Upon entering Loddon Prison, Sam was ambushed by fellow inmates who attacked him with a rock, inflicting serious injuries. The prison yard assault underscored the depth of the vendetta against him. The attack was widely believed to have been orchestrated by his enemies in the outside world. By 2020, Sam's life had spiraled into a dangerous cycle of violence and retaliation with no end in sight. He had become a marked man, pursued not only by his criminal rivals, but also by law enforcement. His every move was scrutinised, and his days as a free man seemed increasingly numbered. Amidst the chaos and violence, Sam sought solace in boxing, a sport that offered him a glimmer of hope and a potential path to redemption. Drawing on his natural athleticism and fighting skills, he began to train rigorously, focusing on transforming himself into a legitimate competitor in the ring. In 2019, he made the decision to pursue a professional boxing career, hoping it would provide a much-needed escape from the brutal world of crime. Sam's determination paid off. He quickly made a name for himself in the boxing community, earning accolades and respect for his skills. He was crowned the Victorian State Cruiserweight Champion, a significant achievement that seemed to offer him a glimpse of a different future, one not mired in crime and violence. His success in the ring garnered media attention, and for a time, it appeared as though Sam might finally be able to leave his criminal past behind. But as with many of Sam's ventures, his success in the ring was short-lived. While boxing offered him a temporary distraction, it did little to shield him from his enemies. His ongoing presence on social media, where he boasted about his victories and flaunted his wealth, only served to reignite old feuds. His return to the public eye through his boxing career drew attention from law enforcement, who kept a close watch on his activities both inside and outside the ring. In addition to his success in boxing, Sam also became involved in a high-profile legal battle with the Victorian government. After his parole was revoked in 2019, Sam launched a lawsuit against the state, claiming that his imprisonment was unlawful. The case attracted significant media coverage, with Sam portraying himself as a victim of government overreach. Despite his brief success in the boxing world, Sam's past continued to haunt him. In early 2021, he was expelled from the Mongols Motorcycle Club, a significant blow that left him exposed to the relentless threats from the Hamad family and other rivals. This expulsion marked a critical moment, as Sam's ties to the criminal underworld began to unravel. As a result, his status as a target skyrocketed. The violence surrounding him intensified, with assassination plots against him surfacing through Operation Ironside, an extensive law enforcement operation aimed at dismantling organised crime across Australia. Authorities uncovered detailed plans to eliminate Sam, revealing the depths of the danger he faced. The first attempts on Sam's life occurred on June 25, 2022. After leaving his cousin's funeral, while he was driving in a procession of cars outside Faulkner Cemetery, gunmen ambushed him, firing a barrage of bullets that struck him 8 times. The daylight shooting shocked the community and highlighted the audacity of those seeking to kill him. Miraculously, he survived the attack, suffering critical injuries to his chest, abdomen and leg. Following the shooting, police intelligence identified 2 18-year-olds suspected of the attack, along with a 19-year-old who had helped organise the hit, all affiliated with Al-Hamza's crew. However, Al-Hamza himself managed to evade arrest by fleeing Australia for the Middle East amid allegations of running a drug trafficking network. Recognising the urgency of his situation, Sam sought to escape the suffocating grip of Melbourne's underworld by taking his boxing career international. In late 2022, he travelled to Thailand for a highly publicised fight in Bangkok, positioning himself as a reformed man trying to escape his tumultuous past. While in Thailand, Sam forged an alliance with members of the Brothers for Life gang, a notorious crime syndicate based in Sydney. This partnership was a pragmatic choice. With rivals actively attempting to assassinate him, Sam recognised that forming alliances with established crime families could provide a much-needed buffer against the ongoing threats from the Al-Hamza and Hamad crews. In fact, by the time he joined Brothers for Life, many members of the El Nasha family had been imprisoned, and the Hadara family had lost control of the illicit cigarette market due to ongoing attacks from the Hamad gang. This created an opening for Sam to seek support from Brothers for Life, which had been facing its own challenges but remained a powerful player in Sydney's underworld. Even abroad, however, the spectre of his past loomed large. Sam's enemies shifted their focus toward those connected to him. His family faced escalating threats, with criminals targeting their homes and businesses in a bid to draw him out of hiding. A firebombing targeted the Q Room, where his nephew, who boxes under the name Punisher Jr., was set to fight. Days later, a business linked to Sam's close associate was also set ablaze. This pattern continued, with further arson attacks occurring, including a beauty parlour linked to one of Sam's relatives and his abandoned home in Thomastown. In May 2024, Sam's enemies intensified their efforts. 2 cars belonging to his parents were set on fire outside their home, signalling a clear message. Shortly after, an assassination attempt unfolded as 2 masked gunmen waited near the wall of his gated home, preparing to shoot him as he rushed to his parents' side. As Sam drove out, the assailants opened fire, unleashing 17 bullets in his direction. Remarkably, none of the shots struck him. Another hit squad that had been waiting for him at a nearby relative's house also missed their target. As of now, Sam the Punisher, Abdulrahim, remains an elusive figure navigating a treacherous existence filled with uncertainty and danger. While his social media presence has dwindled, occasional updates hint at his continued survival amidst the ongoing threats to his life. His once vibrant online persona has given way to a more cautious and calculated approach as he seeks to evade the prying eyes of both law enforcement and his enemies. Rumours swirl regarding Sam's whereabouts, with speculation that he has fled Melbourne altogether, possibly relocating to other parts of Australia or even overseas. Some believe he is lying low, waiting for the heat to die down, while others suspect he is strategically aligning himself with powerful figures in the criminal world, seeking protection in exchange for his loyalty and services. What remains clear is that Sam's life is a precarious balancing act, constantly teetering on the edge of danger. The $1 million bounty on his head serves as a grim reminder that his past actions have left him with enemies who will stop at nothing to see him dead. The Hamad and Al-Hamza families, in particular, remain unwavering in their pursuit of vengeance, their determination fueling a cycle of violence that shows no signs of abating. From his early years as a troubled youth to his rise as a feared figure, Sam's journey has been shaped by a relentless pursuit of power and respect. Each chapter of his life is marked by violence, betrayal, and a struggle for survival, painting a vivid picture of a man trapped by his own choices. Despite numerous assassination attempts, legal battles, and feuds with some of Melbourne's most influential crime figures, Sam continues to elude death. His remarkable ability to navigate the dangers that surround him speaks to both his cunning and the sheer will to survive. However, the question remains: how long can he continue to outrun his enemies? In the end, Sam's life is a vivid illustration of the duality of existence in Melbourne's underworld, where loyalty is fleeting and survival is a battle fought on the edge of a knife. As he continues to navigate this perilous landscape, the implications of his choices will reverberate throughout Melbourne's criminal ecosystem, leaving an indelible mark on a city steeped in violence and intrigue. His life, filled with close calls and narrow escapes, serves as a reminder of the unforgiving nature of the world he inhabits, a world where power is temporary and enemies are forever. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, take care.